All right, my beautiful people, welcome back to the propaganda machine. This is ERGJ. We're going to be talking about the NBA and pulling the AllStar Game out of Charlotte. So again, we always start with talking about propaganda. What is propaganda? Nothing more than something that's legal for the United States to do, the government to use propaganda against Americans. And it's nothing more than swaying public opinion by using television, radio, newspapers, and social media, targeting American and foreign people and controlled psyops, staged events. And so this is a form of propaganda. I want to talk about it today because it has a lot to do with the agenda that's being pushed forth. So starting looking at this is how much loss of NBA All-Star Game will cost Charlotte. So go through the story. The NBA made a decision to pull its All-Star Game out of Charlotte. It means an estimated cost of $100 million to the city's economy. Now, the city's visitors authority said tourists were expected to spend as much as $60 million in rent hotel rooms for a total of 27,000 nights during the All-Star weekend. The influx of cash, let me make this bigger. The influx of cash would have also triggered a $40 million spending spree by Charlotte businesses and employees of its hotels and restaurants, the authority figured. The NBA yanked the game from Charlotte because of the state's so-called bathroom law. So what it is, the reason why they yanked it is because Charlotte is one of the states that has an anti-transgender, anti-LGBT law where they don't allow, an individual, if you are trans, to choose what bathroom you want to go to. So that's what the story is about. They don't want you to be able to choose your own bathroom. They figure if you were born a man, you should go into the men's restroom. If you're born a woman, you should go to the woman's restroom. And so that is the thought there with Charlotte. So let's keep reading here. And so the agenda, the agenda that's being pushed forth by the nation. Of course, we're the United States, so every state has its own laws. But the United States, the head government wants to bring all of these states into its own, bring it into own laws, and they're pushing the gay agenda. They're pushing the transgender agenda. If you've been kind of paying attention, and so it looks like because Charlotte didn't want to play ball, they didn't want to participate in that, in the agenda of the establishment, in the agenda of the federal government, that the NBA, decided that they were going to not going to bring this money, this revenue. They were going to basically impact them financially. So let's continue to read this. The controversial law prevents cities from creating non-discriminatory policies based on gender identity and mandates that students in state schools use the bathroom that corresponds with the gender of their birth certificate. A number of performers, including Bruce Springsteen, Maroon 5, and Pearl Jam, have canceled concerts in North Carolina as a result of the legislation. So Charlotte, or North Carolina, is being impacted financially by this law that doesn't that mandates that people use bathrooms according to their gender of their birth certificate. These concerts are pulled out. That's money that goes away from Charlotte. The NBA All-Star Game is pulled out. That's money that goes away from Charlotte. So if you think about it, they're putting pressure on Charlotte to change this law, because typically when you start impacting someone's money, that starts to make them change what they might morally think is correct for them to do. So the NBA initially declined to move the game, but announced the decision to relocate on Thursday. It said it would consider the city for future All-Star games if the laws reversed or changed. So you won't get an All-Star game in Charlotte unless this particular law is changed. So why is the NBA? Why are all of these big name performers, or whoever is handling them? Why is it so important for them to have this law changed? Well, the reason why is because that's what the establishment, that's what the federal government wants to happen. Every state to adopt its laws versus you having your own laws, which you can do, but if you do, you're going to be penalized. You're going to be penalized financially. And that's what we're seeing here with North Carolina. So now we recognize that the NBA cannot choose the law in every city, state, and country in which you do business. We do not believe we can successfully host our All-Star festivities in Charlotte in the climate created by the law. I don't know why you would think that. In 2017 will be played in New Orleans instead. So they'll be in New Orleans. That's Louisiana. A lot of things going on in Louisiana. So PayPal and Induced Bank have dropped plans to add hundreds of jobs in Charlotte due to the legislation. Look at this. Man, it's not just the NBA. Look at this. PayPal, Induced Banks have dropped plans. Business groups in the city, which have also opposed the law, said they would continue to work to change it. Charlotte has been and will continue to be a city that embraces and promotes diversity, inclusiveness, and equality. We oppose discrimination in all forms, said a statement from the Charlotte Chamber of Commerce. We are disappointed that the NBA All-Star Game is being moved elsewhere, but appreciate the league's willingness to continue to consider Charlotte for the 2019 games. So you see what's happening, guys. The agenda, even in a situation like this, the pressure is on Charlotte to drop the anti-LGBT law, and we know that the agenda has been to be pro-LGBT, pro-gay, pro-trans, which I think is each state should be able to make their own decisions. It's their legislation, but we can see that if you make legislation that goes against the ultimate agenda of the federal government, of the establishment, then they'll start to penalize you. And we see what kind of impact that can make. $100 million not coming into the city's economy. Performers, Bruce Springsteen, Maroon 5, and Pearl Jam canceling. PayPal and Induced Banks, dropping their plans to add jobs in Charlotte. That all has an impact on the economy, all has an impact on money. And I would imagine that, in the next 2 years, this law will be changed. Because for many of our states, many of this country, it's all about money. Money it seems to be way more important in most places of this land than any moral stance that you might take with your laws. So at any rate, this is the propaganda machine going over why the All-Star Game was moved from Charlotte. And now we see why it has a lot to do with the law that they have passed and the impact. The way they get you to change laws is to impact your money, impact your income, or impact your economy. And we'll probably see this law change in the future. All right, guys, if you know anything else about this story, feel free to share. Make sure that you like and you subscribe to the channel, and share it with other people that you think might be interested in finding truth. It's curiosity that'll urge you to seek truth. And as you seek truth, guys, the truth will set you free.